Show this dog off.
Oh yeah,
this dog.
So this is a like I haven't been predominantly focusing on this body of work for a while, but I still make them.
Is this an old pet of yours?
Not this dog.
Yeah.
We're not showing off this dog.
Oh, you can show that dog. But this is a carved wooden
The
skeleton.
two dogs together.
With
This is gold.
What is the surface?
It's pig intestines actually. So it's hollow casings. Yeah.
Thank you for the kisses.
It's completely sealed up now. So it's pig intestines
Good
that is
doggy.
stretched over top of a wooden frame, and then the pig intestines dries taut over the frame, and it sticks to itself. So I have long, thin strips of it. So I wrap that around the form, and as it dries, it sucks onto the form and completely adheres to it. It's an awesome process. It's really.
Wow.
It's
Does
really.
it smell? When
It
you
does while you're working on it. It's
Yeah.
it's gross while you're working on it. It stinks and it's nasty while you're doing it. But the finished product is awesome.
It is very cool.
And the intestines dry so fast. Like if it's a low humidity day and you have the heat turned up.
Seems like it's pretty fragile. What is
It is kind of
crack?
fragile. It definitely lends itself. This is about as big as I take the form now, because the bigger the form, then it's the heavier it is, and the easier it is to put a finger through it while you're moving it around.
Really?
It's not uncommon. I've had to repair these guys a few times when I'm moving it to shows. So I've kind of kind of dropped down myself to being only working in small stuff with the skin pieces. So this is as big as I get with this guy.
Okay.
When I first started working in the skin work, I made a bunch of pieces that were life-size human figures, which ended up I just would put my hand through it every time I would move it around. So it ended up being one of those things where I wanted to like preserve it a little bit more.
These are some of his drawings that he includes in.
There's
in his
two
show
of them
every
here.
once in a while.
Two of them here that are his. That one, they're on the end.
That looks like an original.
Yeah, that's a pen and ink with watercolors, and this is a print.
Says 1 of 12, so
Yes, I did
very
recall.
limited edition.
Very limited.
And then that one is by his
an old professor. Yeah.
old professor. The name?
Oh my gosh, John Bavara.
John Bavara.
Yes, gosh, darn it, it slipped out of my mind for a
So
second.
John Bavaro, if you want to do an interview,
And
we
he's
love
at-
to invite you.
He's at what?
He's at Edinburgh University in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
But, I can't remember what the gallery is in Seattle, but he's represented by a gallery in Seattle.
Neat.
So,
Now this
yeah, he does
this
awesome work.
bowl is an example of the molds that we looked at on the bench out there, right?
Yeah, so this is cast from a mold. So I'm like I was saying, predominantly do the wood carvings, but I'm have been exploring more with doing the castings. So this is an addition as well. So this would be in an addition of 9, but this is cast into a polyurethane. But yeah, you can see how that. I started getting into it by working in the Veterans Project and wanting to make a permanent way to display the clays that I work with.
It's very light, right?
Well, this one, it's not actually light because it's actually filled with concrete.
Oh,
so,
really?
There's a skin of the polyurethane and then it's filled with concrete. So it gives it a heft to it. It is pretty light when it doesn't have concrete in it. Just
I
the
was
resin
thinking
is
that the
pretty
way
light.
it came from.
Yeah, well, that definitely weighs it down. But yeah, the actual piece itself has a heft to it too. Yeah, and the mask isn't attached right now. So be careful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it carved underneath the mask?
Yeah, actually.
That's very cool too. I didn't realize they were separate. Look at
What?
that. Look
Right.
at that. That is very cool.
Well, that's one of the fun things about being able to work with like
Right.
polyurethane.
But it
is you
does.
can
The
do
surface
fun
of it
things
looks
like that.
very much like the wood.
Yeah, and I treat them the same way. So I'm using a lot of the same tools on these pieces as I do with the wood pieces. And I use a lot of the same carving tools.
Now, is there a reason? Is there some other?
We're getting close.
No.
Yeah.
Is there a reason you settled on reclaimed wood and doing your own paint beyond just you like the materials?
Beyond liking the materials, I did. I mean, the main focus is just liking the materials.
Okay.
I mean, I enjoy the fact that I can feel like a decent human being by using reclaimed materials predominantly. So that makes me feel good. I mean, when you're going to a store and you're buying a bunch of wood to carve, and you're taking exotic wood from a rainforest or something like that, then you can feel pretty bad about yourself pretty quick, especially if you do it for a living.
Well, yeah.
But limiting myself to working in reclaimed lumber, then like that makes me feel a little bit better about the way I'm approaching it, and also it gives such character to the pieces before I even touch it. Like in looking at just the beams, I see the beams and they look beautiful, and I know it can be a little bit more of a collaboration between the beam and myself, and see exactly how it wants to come out, and what kind of character is going to be developed by that.
Mm-hmm. Was there something? Was there an event or some kind of introduction that caused you to discover these things?
Oh, to discover the
the wood. I mean, was there an abundance of reclaimed wood available?
Yes, actually,
or something like that?
I first started working with wood when I was in graduate school, focusing in wood. I did some woodwork in undergrad, and actually at that point I was working in reclaimed oak predominantly, because I grew up on a farm, and we had old buildings on the farm that had fallen down, and these were old buildings that had old
Okay,
oak
so
beams.
you had this stuff around all the
So
time.
yeah, so I utilized that in school, but I wasn't carving into it. I was just using it as just structural pieces in that. So I always had that kind of in mind of reusing materials. But when I was in graduate school, which graduate school gets expensive fast, especially if you're buying materials as well, I was living in Erie, Pennsylvania, and just a few blocks from the Lake Erie, and you could just walk down there and find big pieces of wood, driftwood at that time, and that's why I ended up working in actually making that my focus, is because I had an abundance of free materials just on my doorstep. When I moved out here, I tried carving driftwood, but it didn't have the same resonance that I had back in Erie.
Yeah.
Where Erie was right on the water.
Is
and
Erie
there's driftwood.
freshwater?
Yeah, it's freshwater. So you didn't have to deal with the salts too, which is salts is harder on your wood tools as well.
Right.
If you're carving into driftwood that's been in salt water. Anyway, so when I was out here, I kind of, the bones of Portland are much more the reclaimed, refurbished, old big beams that you have from the lumber industry, that all these buildings, and people are very conscientious about it here, about when they're tearing down a building, strip out all the old wood, and that becomes available. Half the wood I get is from Craigslist.
And you get it for free
sometimes I get it for free if I can. Sometimes I go to the rebuilding center here in town, get wood there, or Salvage Works here in my own neighborhood that does a great job of pulling out reclaimed lumber, and I utilize that stuff.
Nice.
But, yeah.
Where are we at? Sheriffs?
We can keep going. Actually, we went over the 15. Yeah, we went over the 15 minutes. So there's no rush. Actually,
How are you doing?
I'm great.
Do you have anything else to say? Let's plug your website. Let's tell them where.
My website is once again www.christopherbwagner.com. It used to be ChristopherBWagner.net, but I've changed that recently. So
Coms are better.
Yeah, .com. I like .com better. So that's my website. You can find my work at Gardino Gallery here in town.
Gardino Gallery.
Gardino Gallery on Northeast Alberta Street. Gardino Gallery. And they always carry my work.
Okay.
So my work is always on hand there. Then it's Simon Mace Gallery up in Port Townsend, Washington.
Simon Mace.
Always have work there.
All right.
So yeah, those are my two main galleries.
Are you working on any shows in the near future?
Yeah, well, I have the show opening up, another show of the veterans work opening up on Vashon Island at the Blue Heron Gallery. That's going to be going up in February. So that's going up soon. And right now you can see a bunch of small pieces. I have 7 pieces in the Little Things show at Gardino Gallery, which runs through December.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want small pieces for a good price.
So check him out. You keep us posted on what you got going on, and we'll share it with everybody.
Awesome. Thanks for coming out, guys.
Are you planning on going to, I know I talked to you a little bit about the 4th Evan Friday gallery that we're doing in our home.
Oh yeah.
Are you still interested in coming and doing?
Yeah, as you can see, I always have artwork in between showings, so yeah, I'm happy to show it.
Oh man,
awesome.
we'd really be honored to have you. Really.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah.
All right, that's gonna be the 23rd of January.
Awesome.
We're working on food.
food, hopefully.
We got music.
We will have
We've
booze.
had commitments from a few different artists, so
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Awesome.
We'll meet
Well,
some
we can
new
talk
people.
about what pieces you are guys interested in having out.
Absolutely.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you for tuning in.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Art Life video blog.
We love you.
Subscribe to us when we get to 100 subscribers. We will be giving away some free art.
Well, actually, 100.
Did
You
I
said
say
200, but it's
100?
actually 100. When we get
100.
100 subscribers, we're going to do a raffle.
I don't know why I said 200. All right. We love you.
Probably do it again at 200.
We will do it again. All right. We love you. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.